Boards and booze and boards, drinks and beers, fight some hordes. Boards and booze and boards, drank too much, forgot our swords. Boards and booze and boards, ran back home, filled our gourds. Boards and booze and boards, got drunk again, sang some chords. Boards and booze and boards, with Mickey and Jeb.
Hi everyone, this is Jeb and Mickey with Booze and Boards with Mickey and Jeb. This is our first episode, so forgive us for any mistakes and shakiness of the camera, which I've gotten an earful about in the last few minutes. I guess we should start by explaining that this show is going to be us playing games and reviewing stuff and somewhat teaching. So it's an all-inclusive package. And, I forgot the booze. That's the best part of the show, right?
That's right.
Or is the best part when Mickey makes fun of Jeb? We'll
That's
let you decide
that.
Alright, so to begin, this is the beginning of episode 1. So what we'll do is go through, talk about how the game's played. The game we're playing is Small World. Small World! I don't know, can you see it now? We'll see when we edit the video.
Small World is by Days of Wonder and Philippe. I'm gonna brutalize this last name. Kiarts.
Something like that.
So I'm sure that if anybody watches this video, they'll correct us on that because we probably brutalize it. But anyways,
what is that? A 3 to 5 player, 2 to 5 player game?
Yes. 2 to 5 players, and there is
expansion.
a expansion map that will bring it up to 6.
Oh. So that's what we'll be playing for episode 1. A little bit about ourselves. I watch anime, play board games, play video games. That's my background, so I don't know if that tells you anything or not, but that's me. So.
And my background is mostly comic books. I've been collecting comic books for over 25 years now. I don't know, gaming been seriously doing for a couple years now, but I always liked games as a kid. I can remember, the classics like Monopoly, Masterpiece, Pit. I'm a little more sophisticated than you, Jeb. And I wish I still had it, but I had the ever so elusive Dark Tower when it came out too, but unfortunately it's gone now.
And Mousetrap, where instead of playing,
I never got Mousetrap. I always wanted Mousetrap, and I never got Mousetrap.
I think I played it at a friend's place once, and that was about it.
Yeah.
But all right, I think we're boring the audience now, so we'll start talking about how to play Small World. Keep watching. You'll learn how to play if you don't already know. After that, you'll see us play a game of it, and hopefully you'll like it. So to set up Small World, you want to take a game board. I believe there's 2 different game boards in the box. The one you use depends on how many players you have for the game. So in this game, or the game we'll be playing today is 3 players. So you look in the top corner and there's a 3. If you flip the board over, there's another map and that one has a 2. So that's how you would decide on the players. There's also a 4, you can see that, and a 5. On the back of that?
You'd have to unfold it.
Yeah. And then the expansion is 6 player. The next thing you do for setup is to place the round tracker on the board. As you can see over here, there are 10 rounds for 3 players. So you take the round track, whatever token, crown, and set it on the 1. So that represents that we start on round 1. The next thing you do is place the lost tribes on the board. These represent tribes that have gone into decline and the remnants of them are left on the board. So you take these tokens and you will place them. Where do I actually place them?
Anything that has, it looks like I don't know if you guys can see it, it looks like a bullseye. You place 1 lost tribe on every space that has one of those marks.
Okay, so there are a lot more. I'll just put those on for now. Once you put all the lost tribes across the board, wherever the bullseye are, you want to put the mountains on the board. These are the mountain tokens, and on the board there are actual mountains. So you just put one of them where the mountains are.
It's pretty much just a reminder that, hey, this is a mountain, so that everything, sometimes when you're playing a game, things will blend in. And it also has to do with when we get into conquering areas, it makes a difference. So next, we're going to set up the races and the race powers. The race tokens look like that, and the power tokens look like this. So we're going to give each pile a shuffle real quick. Wherever it lands is wherever it lands.
That wasn't Jeb spilling them for once.
He'll spill a drink later, you just wait. And we'll set that there. And we will set the powers right here. And then what you do is you, from the top, take out 5. Like that. 5 of these. And that is your initial setup of the game of Small World.
One more thing, can you grab a victory point token to
sure.
show them what that looks like?
There are 4 different types of victory tokens.
There's a 1, a 10, a 5, and a 3, is that? Yep, a 3. At the beginning of the game, every player is going to start with 5 victory points. So whoever is helping set up the game, just give every player 5 of these. And that's the setup of the game.
5 victory points worth, not 5.
Oh yeah.
You're not going to get 26 or whatever this is.
Oh great. The object of the game is to have the most victory points at the end of the game. The game ends after the 10th round for a 3-player game. So pretty much every round you'll move the round tracker 1, and when it finishes on the 10, everybody's going to calculate their victory points, and the one with the highest is the winner.
Okay, so on the first turn, the first player is going to have the option of picking his race and power. One thing unique about the game is obviously, as you can probably see, that on a different game, these are going to be shuffled up, and everybody's going to have a different combination. So it keeps the game unique. I'll pretend that I'm the first player. I can, if I go first, I can take the Seafaring Ghouls for free. If, however, I want Flying Elves, I have to place a victory token on each one until I get down to the elves. So I'd have to put 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, like this. And then I could take the elves.
Once he takes that, the next, or it automatically refills.
Shifts forward. If it would have been this one, it would have shifted up. That comes out.
Yep.
This pile here is actually an option. I could have put 1 more down and taken that. So this isn't stale. It's still available. Somebody can take the Sorcerers with Hills if they want to. Now that I have a race and a power, we'll explain this a little more. So the elves are flying, and the way that I get my elves is I add up these 2 numbers. So I have a 5 and a 6. So I'm going to get 11 elves. That's what the elves look like. And the tokens for your races all look like they are on these spots here. And so this guy would get 10, this guy would get 7, this guy would get 10, this guy would get 9, etc., etc. A little math trick, depending on if your tokens have a special ability and actually have extra tokens. If you look at this and you have a 5, it's going to be everything in the box. So if, for example, the elves are a 5, this number is a 5, so I know that I'm going to be taking all the elves out of the box. Unless they have a special ability that gains them extra tokens during the game. Also, there are nice, handy cheat sheets in this game. They're really nice. They have all the abilities, and except for when you get into some really weird combinations, you should be able to follow this game very easily. On turn 1, since I have my flying elves, here's my elf tokens. Real quick, I will tell you guys what the elves do. The elves say, when conquered, I suffer no loss, withdrawal, all my tokens from a region. Jeb's going to go over that when he gets into conquering another person on another turn since we're on turn 1. And then obviously I have flying, and if you look on the chart on your sheet, flying will say you may conquer any region on the map, just not an adjacent one. So basically when I come into the board, I need to come in from the side. My flying lets me not continue adjacently along the path. So what I would do is I have to have, whenever you conquer something, you have to have a base of 2 tokens. And then anything basically that's on the space, you need an extra token to be able to conquer it. So if I went to this space right here, I would need 2. Now this one has a lost tribe, so there's something else on there. So I would need my base of 2, then there's a lost tribe, I'd put another one on, and then I could conquer it. And then, here's a mountain. The mountain is actually something else on there. It's harder to conquer a mountain. So again, I would take 2, and then 1 more for the mountain, and I could put it there. And then I will go put 2 here on the swamp, because I'm going to show you another nifty part of the game. I only have 1 token left, so I don't have enough to take over either any space, because I need 2 to go into this, I need 3 to go in here, 3 to go in here, and 3 to go into the mountain. So there is a final conquer, which you get to try to take over one of those spaces, assuming that you have at least 1 left. So if I want to go for this, I roll this dice, and as long as I get a blip on it, I will add those together, so I have 1 and 2, I could go into here. For this one, I would need either a 2 or a 3, and then I conquer it. I'm going to try to go for one of these, so I will roll a die. I have a nothing, so this one doesn't do anything, stays in my hand, but it can be redeployed, which, at this point, I can redeploy my troops. I can move everything around however I want. So I can move. I'm going to move 1 here to make that a little stronger. I will leave that alone, and I think I'll put this guy back here, so I have just a 2 spot there. And that would be a first turn. And then Jeb would do the same thing coming in from somewhere else.
I'll put 2 here, 2 here. Let's conquer that. And I've got 3 left, so I will conquer this. And that's...
I guess I forgot the most important part of the game. At the end of my turn, I count up the territories I take, and that's my victory points. So I own this one, 2, 3, 4, and I would have got 4 coins. So now that Jeb's taken his first turn, it would be my turn again. We're just going to pretend. I'm going to let Jeb talk about turns afterwards, so I'm just going to let him go twice.
Okay, so on my following turn, I would pick up any excess monsters in any of the regions. I have to leave at least 1 guy in a region, right?
And abandon if you want.
Oh, if you want to abandon a region, you can pick it up. I'm not going to do that right now.
However, if you do that, you can't redeploy in the region that you picked it up, and the downside of that is obviously you wouldn't score it.
Alright, so at the beginning of your turn you do that, and then I believe you've got 2 choices. You can expand your race through conquests, or you can go into decline. So if I wanted to expand through conquest, I would do similar to the first turn, where I would take the remaining guys in my hand and do conquest. So I'll just take out these guys that are left there and there, and I have no units left to deploy, so I cannot roll the die to try to take over something because I don't have anything to put there. So that's what would have happened if I decided to do conquest. If I didn't do the conquest, I could have gone into decline. When I go into decline, I flip my race banner and power badge, so these would get flipped over to this side.
It actually gets discarded.
And
unless there's a power that continues, and it's pretty obvious if there is one. This one just goes back to the bottom of the pile.
Alright, and since this is flipped over, I now need to flip over all the tokens of that race on the board. So that's all of my orcs. So they are now in decline. I'm only allowed to have 1 race in decline at a time. If I do it again, so if I had selected another group and then
did it again, and
all the orcs.
there happened to be stuff still left, he would actually have to get rid of all the orcs at that point in time. What you'll notice is that eventually you're going to run out of being able to conquer efficiently, and it's all about the timing on when you decline. These are all still going to score for Jeb, though, so that's the interesting part of the game. If you can keep these guys hanging around, these are like free extra points. The downside is that's his whole turn. If you go into decline, that's all you can do.
Yep.
So, Jeb, let's say you were adjacent to me, and let's show a conquer over here.
Alright. Let's pretend I had some orcs over here, and I wanted to start taking over Mickey's land. So, actually, how many is that?
So he would need a 5 spot to get into this.
Alright, so let's pretend I have 2 orcs in both of those zones, and I've got, oh wow, 5 orcs in hand. So if I want to conquer this mountain region with Mickey's elves, I would have to use the base 2 to normally go in the region. Then I would have to do 1 extra for each of his elves, which is 3. So I'm 1 short. But since that's all that's left in my hand, I can roll the die, right?
You can.
So I'm going to roll the die and see what I got. 3. So it is the 5 in hand plus the 3 that I rolled is enough to conquer his region. So I will put my guys there, and he takes off his guys.
So what happens when he conquers me is these go back to my hand. Under normal circumstances, I have to discard 1 out of the game, and then I get to hold on to these, and then when his turn is done, I get to redeploy these anywhere I want on my existing spaces. Okay. However, the elves negate that rule. So when he does that to an elf, I get to keep all 3. That is the elf special power. So now you get to see what his special power does.
And then the other thing, I'll do this, come back over here. So after I go into decline, say I went into decline on my turn, then Mickey would go next, and when his turn's over, it would come back to me, and I have nothing I can do. I have no race. All my orcs are in decline. So at this point, I need to select a new race. So the way we selected races earlier, I'll do the same thing where I'll pick 1 in the line, and if I pass over any, I gotta put victory points on there. So let me just grab the Seafaring Ghouls. So I've got them, and once I select them, I would get all their tokens, and I get to
do his turn as normal.
Do my turn as normal, deploying the guys like I would if it had been the first
turn. Meaning that he has to, when he gets his new race, he can't come adjacent off his old race. He has to come in from a side. And along these couple of seashores here, this side and this side, these are considered edge spots, not the lake, just these ones.
One other thing to mention, at the end of your turn, when you score your victory points, as you said earlier, you get 1 victory point for each region you occupy, and then you will get additional victory points through any effects of your race or power. So that's what you would do at the end of your turn. Once your turn ends, it goes to the next player, and I believe after every player has gone once, the round token moves, and you just keep doing it until it hits the end of the game.
The person with the most victory points at the end of the game is the winner. And that is pretty much, real quick, the basic mechanics of Small World. A couple extra things to note. Other than the mountains, these are encampments. They make you pay an extra guy to get in. These are troll layers, I think they're called. Something like that. And these are fortifications. Basically, they all work like mountains, except these trigger on special powers so that the person can place them wherever they want, which is kind of cool. This is there's a lot of different powers and combinations that really make the interaction of the board pretty cool. So, in just a couple minutes, we're gonna set ourselves up for a real game. We'll be back to show you a playthrough of Small World.
Alright, so we've got the game set up for 3 players. It's Mickey, Jeb, and Kim is our guest star on our first episode. Say hi, Kim.
Hello.
All right.
Haley couldn't be here today. She's
Yeah.
getting ready to work some haunts for Halloween. So
If any of you have watched our previous episode or our previous videos, they're not really episodes. You know that we do a booze portion of every video. For Small World, Mickey had a great idea, and do you want to tell the people?
we're playing Small World. So we're having small beers
Tiny beers.
and compliments of Jeb.
I got
Small liquor.
small liquors, so many of them. Look at this. There's so many small ones. We'll drink them all.
Now we actually had a brilliant idea. If you wanted to make this a drinking game, you buy your small liquors and you place them on the race cards. When you take a race, you must drink the liquor.
Yep.
I can't do that.
Okay.
And don't forget mine.
All right.
I'm different. I have this other drink.
So yeah, you can not show the kids a portion
My
of that
fuzzy
part.
navel.
Yes, Kim had me make her a fuzzy navel with orange juice and
Coconut rum and was it tropical vodka?
yeah. So I guess it's more of a rummy
homemade
tropical
whatever.
navel.
Yum.
So. All right, so I guess
So the rule book says whoever has the pointiest ears gets to go first. We're not going to do that. We're just going to roll this dice. Whoever gets the most flips gets to go first. I got 2. Kim got nothing. Jeb got nothing. I go first.
all right.
Which is really fortunate because they're Sorcerer Dragon Master. That's easy enough to figure out. I'm taking it.
Aw. All right. So since he took it, all of these will shift up, and the next one down will fall.
I need a moment to look at them.
Wow, there's pillaging orcs.
Do I go next or is it you?
Yeah, I think it's
You just clockwise.
yeah.
I don't know if pillaging is really that good. I mean, at the beginning, that's good.
I don't know what half these do.
Oh wow,
I played
pillaging
this
and
in
orcs like go completely together.
I know. That's what it's like.
Wow. I'm gonna do them. I'm not even gonna bother reading the others. So if I could please have those.
All right.
Plus they're free.
Kim takes the free pillaging orcs. I don't know if Mickey showed you the Dragon Master sorcerers.
Are we gonna explain what they do or wait?
Yeah, you
We'll
guys
let
can
everybody
go
pick.
ahead.
We'll go back around and tell what our stuff does. That
And
way you can find it on your sheet.
I am, of course, going with the Berserk Rat Men.
Okay.
I picked the Rat
So
Men.
nobody had to pay. Everybody took their first options. Okay. I have Dragon Master Sorcerers. My Sorcerers allow once per turn per opponent. I can substitute an opponent's single active token with a Sorcerer token from the tray to conquer an adjacent region. So I don't have to use my Sorcerer tokens to do that. But keep in mind that it said a single active token. So that race that I can do with a single token and swap, first of all, it has to be active, so it can't be in decline. Second of all, it has to be a single one. It can't be 2. Second, my power is Dragon Master. I get to use the dragon to conquer a region using a single token. The region conquered by the dragon becomes immune to opponent's conquest and racial and special powers. So basically the region that I go into using Dragon Master gets the dragon token to indicate that that's the one that was used with the Dragon Master, and basically nobody can take that region over. I just get it because they can't do anything about it.
Alright. So for my orcs, I get to collect 1 bonus coin for each non-empty region you conquered this turn. And then the pillaging ability is actually the same. You collect 1 bonus coin for each non-empty region that I conquered this
Oh
turn.
wow.
Alright.
So I have to go after you guys.
Hey, don't come after the Berserk Ratmen. They've got their own problems. The Ratmen, they have no race benefit at all other than their sheer numbers. They have an 8 for their number, which I think is ridiculous compared to other people's. Mickey and Kim have guys who are 5s. And then they are Berserk. Berserk is, you may use the reinforcement die before each conquest. So they're crazy. They're crazy.
That's a really good ability.
Yep.
He always has a chance to go in almost with just one token.
Yep. So we have selected our races, and Mickey is first player. So I believe we start, right?
Yep. So I am going to no opponent yet, so that really doesn't help me. So I will go here. I'm gonna go here. I will go here, 3, and I will Dragon Master this spot.
And what does that mean again? It's you can't go there?
Nobody can touch me.
Okay. You're
And-
gonna touch him?
I don't want to touch him. He with the dragon.
No!
I've been drinking.
And then final conquest, I will try for. I'll try for the mountains, and so I need 1 blip, and I whiffed it. So I will redeploy here and here, and it is now Kim's turn.
Alright, so if I would happen to kill your people, are they like dead or do they go back to your hand?
I have to discard 1, and then the rest go back to my hand, and then I get to put them back out at the end of your turn.
Okay.
Now I get to collect 4 victory points too. You want some of your chips before I eat them all?
No, go ahead.
So if I wanted to go where the mountain was, I would need 3 tokens?
Yeah, you need always need 2 to start,
Okay.
and then just keep adding for whatever's in there. So
Alright.
for this, you would just need the 2. Just the 2. This would be 3. This would be 3. This would be 3. If you're coming over here, you need the 2 plus 3, because I have 3 things on it.
Well, let's start with that.
Wow.
Holy cow!
Kim just went crazy. And
Yes, she did. So she's got the 2 and the 3.
And I'll
So
go
that
here on the mountain.
takes me out.
And then I have 2 dudes left. So I have no choice then but to go like here, I guess.
And I will put those
And-
back there.
So
Kim
at what point do we
gets
do the
3
coins?
victory points?
Now? Well, I have
Yeah.
my bonuses.
Oh,
then,
what's your
too.
bonus? Sorry.
So-
So you've got 3
So this
lands.
was occupied. This was not occupied.
Right. So it's
Oh.
2 coins.
See, you should have
then.
tried your final one here because that counts as being occupied.
I only had 2 though.
I know, but you roll that. If you get anything, as long as you get a blip, you can take it over.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna
So-
try that then.
Now, if you don't get it, you won't get that spot.
And what happens to those?
You get to
2?
put them back here.
Oh, okay. So I could just put them there if it fails.
You'd
So
have to
you're
put them on these stacks. You don't. So these 2 are in your hand. If you attack this and you don't make it, then they have to go between them.
I'm gonna try it.
All right. So she's putting them in her
Yeah,
hand.
we're gonna do it.
Kim's going gung ho in this game.
I got
and
one.
she got
And
it.
she got it. So that
Yay.
gives her an extra coin. So that was
2.
actually
It's actually double.
that's
so-
I know that's what I would.
Yeah.
It was a better choice.
Yeah.
So
I get it.
She gets 3 to start because she's in 3 regions.
And then 2 for each one, so
2
4
for
bonuses. Yeah, because my ability is 1 bonus coin, and my orcs are 1 bonus coin.
She's right. She's getting 3 per section. That was a huge turn on.
Wow. So Kim just racked in 9 points.
Is that right? 1, 2,
Yeah.
or-
3 times
Isn't
3
it
is
7?
9.
This had nothing.
Oh, then
It's 7, I
take
think.
2 back.
I mean, I could just keep them.
No, we're good. So it's my go, right?
Or can I move my people around, or not yet?
I don't think you can move your people. Or
I
can you?
thought you can adjust
Yeah,
after you.
I think you might be right.
Is that what you're checking, Mickey?
What?
I thought you can move your, like, between the ones that I own, I can redeploy at the end of my turn, right?
You can, yes.
Yeah, alright. I'm gonna just take 1 guy and put it there.